Skilling is dead. Change my mind. In a game of old school RuneScape, skilling no longer has the meaning that it once did. I used to play this game a lot, and a lot of it was due to the fact that skilling was profitable. Now that was a very long time ago, and in this video I want to get into why I think skilling is dead and what we could possibly do to maybe rebound it. Before we get started, I have a cool announcement. Ewin Racing is coming out with an all-new Champion Series gaming chair. And when I say all new, like this thing is completely redesigned. It comes out at the end of this month, July of 2023. And fortunately enough, they are going to send me one to fully test out and do a complete review video for you guys. Just to name off a few of the awesome new features of this Champion Series chair, it has a strap-off snap-on magnetic slow rebound memory foam head pillow. So without having the straps anymore, you can just take that thing right off if you don't like it or if it's uncomfortable for you or anything like that. And another new feature of the chair is going to be the 4D integrated lumbar support system. So this is going to be personalizable and adaptable. You can check this out, your natural curvature of your lower back, which is 20 to 45 degrees. You can align this chair now with that pad right in the lumbar section. If you want to check out all the features of the newly designed Champion Series chair, there is a link in the description below that will take you to the Ewin website. There are 2 waves of pre-order. If you order before the 18th of this month, you will save $60 on the discounted price of the chair. You will also receive a complimentary memory lumbar pillow. If you order from the 18th to the 25th of this month, you will save $60 with the pre-order price. Remember to use code AsukaYen at checkout to get 20% off your purchase. What even is skilling anymore, other than just levels? When was the last time you saw a skiller, or so they were called? And if you don't know what that is, it was just an account with all level 1 combat stats and an objective to get 99 in all of the other skills. Looking back, I used to see them a lot. People liked to skill because they could make money doing it, and they didn't ever have to worry about the PVM aspect of the game. Nowadays, there's not really any reason to have a simple skilling account unless you're going to gather all the materials yourself, which of course is absolutely possible with an immense amount of dedication. Now, I wouldn't consider myself a skiller, but back in the day, there were times that I needed some cash and I took to skilling to make it. The first point that I want to make about skilling being dead is resources. Resources today are just incredibly overabundant. It's actually kind of sad, honestly. I remember years ago grinding and grinding just to get enough herbs to get through the early levels of herblore. I remember mining for hours on end just to get enough coal to get my steel bars made. So what is the cause of these overabundant resources? Unfortunately and ultimately, it's because of the state of PVM in this game. Over the years, more and more bosses have come out that drop incredible amounts of resources. I could go on and on about this list, but just to name a couple, the Tombs of Amasket drops ridiculous amounts of herb seeds. Before TOA, Torsal Seeds would cost you upwards of 75,000 GP. What's their price today? About 6,000. Vorkath, for another example, drops 50 noted magic logs at a rate of 1 in 30. Oh, and you get 2 rolls on the drop table, so it's essentially 1 in 15. Now, if you get 30 Vorkath kills per hour, you basically have a decent shot at gaining 100 magic logs in 1 hour, which is more logs than you can actually chop at level 75. You'll see slightly more, up to about 130 per hour with 99 woodcutting in the woodcutting guild, but still. With the sheer amount of people killing Vorkath at any given time, the game is flooded with this resource. Like I said, I could go on and on, but these are just a couple of examples. The second point, there's no money in it. There used to be a ton of money in skilling because of the scarcity and the time it took to gather the resources. Obviously, time is money, and people want the money that they think is worth their time. Something else that comes to mind for this is herb cleaning. I used to do this all of the time. I'd buy a few thousand herbs, clean them, then sell them to someone training herblore that didn't want to be bothered with cleaning them themselves. It was essentially a service you were performing for someone else, but to make your own profit. But now the prices are so close that you can't turn a profit just cleaning the herbs and selling them back because of the grand exchange tax. I actually tried it out myself the other night. I bought 500 grimy Renar weeds, cleaned them, and sold them back, and actually lost money due to the tax. I put offers in to try to turn a profit, but I just couldn't. The cleaned herbs simply wouldn't sell. Initially, I was actually going to do a video on some things that you could do to earn some quick, easy money while not having to pay much attention, but I really couldn't find anything that was viable that I thought would be acceptable to put in the video, which actually led me here. I was like, wow, skilling really is dead. What's my third point? Iron Men. Now, I know this is going to make some people angry or annoyed, and frankly, I don't care. I am not a proprietor of the Iron Man game mode. I've never played it, I've never agreed with it, and I will never make an Iron account. This may be a conspiracy theory to some, and it may not be, who knows, but all of these resources getting added to boss drop tables really makes me feel like it's to make the Iron accounts have an easier time gathering resources, which I don't agree with. If that's the game mode you chose to play, it shouldn't be as easy as it is. Now, I don't really care if people play the Iron Man mode. If it makes you happy and it's what you enjoy doing, then good for you. It's just my humble opinion that it never belonged in RuneScape. By adding these huge drops to boss tables, it makes the game a hell of a lot easier for those Iron accounts. Sure, they can't trade with other players, they can't use the Grand Exchange, but who needs it, honestly? I've been doing nothing but collection log hunting, and since doing that, I've probably gathered enough resources to max all over again just from PVM drops. Aside from the gathering skills, obviously, of course the Iron Man game mode isn't going anywhere, but this is just my 2 cents. And I think it's a valid thought as to why there are so many resources available from boss drops. I'd actually love to hear if you agree or disagree with this, so please drop something in the comments. I actually do enjoy reading them. I don't want to make this video forever long, so my fourth and final point is the Grand Exchange. Now, I use the Grand Exchange every single day. I am not one of those players that's like, well, I don't like it, so I'm not going to use it. If it's there and it's part of the game, yeah, I'm going to use it. But that doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Of course, the Grand Exchange makes trading so much easier, but you can't tell me that those prices aren't affected by just the supply and demand. I'd honestly be curious to know exactly how it works, but Jagex has never and probably will never release details on how the Grand Exchange pricing actually works. I honestly think the game was better off without it. The entire market of every item in the game was 100% player run. Nothing affected the prices except for supply and demand, which is supposedly how the Grand Exchange works. Without the Grand Exchange, we had old-fashioned bartering. Players discussed the trade, they made a deal, they bought and sold items. I don't think anything else that has ever been introduced to this game has contributed more to the decline of player interaction than the Grand Exchange, and it's really unfortunate. So what can we do to fix all of this? I have 2 solutions, and there's people that aren't gonna like either of them. Some people might like one of them, and hell, you might like both. I like both, which is why they're in this video. 1. Get rid of these massive resource drops from PVM bosses. Bring back the days of gathering supplies with hard work and dedication. I think bosses should drop their unique items and maybe a bit of supplies and resources here, a bit there, but not 50 magic logs at a time, not 25 noted snapdragons at a time. It's making everything way too easy. RuneScape never was a game of instant satisfaction, but it seems like it's getting closer and closer every time a new update is added. 2, and this could be paired with number 1. Introduce skills to the game that consume resources. Now, I didn't particularly care for any of the skill pitches we saw several months back, but I was interested in shamanism because of the fact that it would have used resources. Some of these mass resources have got to go. Instead of smaller resource drops, we get gold sinks, and that's a little bit backwards if you ask me. If we get skills into the game that consume resources and have less boss monsters dropping them, well, then the supply goes down, demand goes up, and skilling is profitable again. Skilling wouldn't just be there to get these arbitrary levels, to get your cool cape at the end, to get your quest requirements. It would be a viable option for players to make money again without just camping Zulrah or Vorkath or the Phantom Muspa for hundreds of hours. It brings more options of income back to the game rather than just PVM. So like I said, I didn't want this video to be forever long. I just wanted to throw out a few points that I thought made sense to me. Now, like I said a little bit ago, I do like to read the comments and I do like to discuss things with you guys down below. So if you have something to say or if you have ideas, put them in the comments below. Who knows what could happen? But I'll tell you why none of this will actually happen. It's because people want instant satisfaction nowadays. They want to get their money, they want to get it quick. They don't want to spend hundreds of hours anymore skilling to make money, which I think was really part of the integral part of RuneScape as a whole. But with the player base now, it just seems like everybody wants to boss. They want to get their billions. They want their twisted bow. They want their Torva armor set. They want, their Tumikin Shadow, and they want it as fast as they possibly can get it. Now for me, I pretty much just do Slayer all the time. I'm trying to complete collection logs. I made all the money to buy my twisted bow, to buy my shadow, to buy my scythe, everything. It all came from Slayer. It was a long grind for me. But I could have easily just sat at, some boss that just throws out money and had it in a lot less time. But that's not the way that I like to play. But at the end of the day, you play how you want to play, and if it makes you happy, that is just fine. Me, I like to play the old-fashioned way. I like to get all my stuff pretty much slow and steady. I don't like to sit at one place forever and ever and ever. I like to have options. Now, I know there's some people out there that will agree with this video. They'll like all the points that I made. And there are some people that will vehemently disagree, which is fine. I don't mind at all. So again, if you want to talk about it, leave something in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't done so yet, please tap the subscribe button on your way out. I will see you guys next time or in the comments below. Take it easy.